can
Now.
record to this.
Recording in progress.
Thanks, Zoom. I
Yes.
first recorded, it just went recording in progress. I don't know if
I
you
got
guys
that one
heard
as well.
that. Oh, okay. Thanks, Zoom. Appreciate it.
Yep.
Anyway, hello and welcome to the Aftershow for episode 7 of
episode
Capricorn
7.
3.
Episode 7.
Our rather awesome Age 20 show. So, things happened. An entity turned up, literally wearing the face of a different person. Like this entity woke up, and when she said, "Hold on, I need to put my face on," she was being quite literal. So,
but enough about me. Let's talk about my character.
We dealt with the biggest evil we could possibly deal with. 3 nat 1s on my best dice roll. No, I'm not letting it go.
Yeah. I
Honestly,
got
not
two
salty about that one.
successes. I got 2 successes on my forces, and I think in the first episode when I rolled forces, what did I get, like 6 or something stupid? And then I get 2 this time, and only because I spent a willpower. So
well, Dozer, the important thing is that you let the void into you.
I mean, failure makes the game interesting because it means it's not just like everything that you decide happens.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I just want to shoot someone once. That's all I want to do. It's the opposite of our VTM game. Jen really wanted to punch someone, but was never able to. The few times I've been able to shoot, it just hasn't lit me.
Yeah.
So
my only disappointment is that you want to shoot me. Like, what did I do to you, Ryan? Why do you want to hurt me?
I would just like to point out, I find it hilarious that the super amazing success I got for Magic was that goofy ass I want better food roll.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I
really was.
And I still got to like have a slap at you for it. Like, yes, you engage in such frivolity on this ship. Like, making little things was still fun.
Yeah, I like that you guys went with the whole cheese and chicken thing because now I'm just thinking of that scene in the Stargate episode where Sam Carter looks at Daniel Jackson, who's frowning who's just frowning while eating an MRE, and she goes, "Is there a problem?" And he goes, "Tastes like chicken." And she's, "What's wrong with that?" He goes, "It's mac and cheese."
I was thinking of the one from Stargate Atlantis, which is like episode 2 or episode 3. It's like we need to find somewhere to have to see if there's a way of growing food on this planet now that they've found there's a landmass. It's like, and then someone else is like, "Oh, that's good. We're almost out of coffee." And then the captain just goes, "Maybe you should stop drinking 11 cups a day."
Yeah.
And then Alex crops up. I'm offended.
I'm happy Steven's paranoia was justified.
I think Jen did a really good job of like being unsettling without being overt about it.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
I knew something was amiss the moment Jen smiled when she said she shakes my hand. And I'm like, oh, this was a bad idea, wasn't it? But I went with it anyway because it's what Alice would do. Alice is polite.
I knew something was amiss the moment Jen showed up.
I mean,
come on,
that's true.
That's typecasting.
Yeah.
Were we wrong though?
Yeah, I was going to say. I mean, you're saying
in this particular instance, no, but it's still typecasting.
If I run a show and I have Jen as a guest character, I'd want to bring her in and just be a happy, bubbly, totally not suspicious person. But I put her in at the most awkward, suspicious times. Everyone just assumes her character is evil.
I mean, obviously.
I mean, I already had a plan for that next time because I have an idea for another game I want to run, but I'm not sure when I want to run it. Is the problem?
Yeah, see, it's always fun when characters are like that. It's like I am so suspicious of that character right now, and it's like they're just the purest being. They do nothing wrong.
To get to my wish I spoke to begin the show, the Wednesday Addams TV show does that really well.
Yes, let's not.
I haven't
because
seen
I haven't
enough
seen
of
it,
that,
and
yeah.
I want no spoilers.
So,
yeah, I've seen like 5 minutes of it. It seems
so,
really good. But
how
yeah,
are you guys? How are you guys coping with the revelations that were uncovered today? So,
there was a line I was going to have Steven say that came up after the doc spoke about it, but since things knocked to 11, he didn't. But if someone had asked him, his response would have just been, "I think therefore I am. I think I'm Steven. Therefore I'm Steven. That's all I need to know."
that's actually since we are now in like the final act of the game, I will say this after the after show, but you know, identity is a main theme of this game.
Sorry, after show viewers, but you're not going to get Act 3 spoilers. Womp womp.
Also,
No.
I'm happy my long-term wish finally succeeded, and all it took was Jen to show up.
Which was
Winter.
Oh right, yeah, that, yeah. I just like Alex being like, look, I get it. Like I've been there. Like I have OCD, and now I have time magic. Let that see.
I still wanted to get like an alone moment with Winter.
Ain't gonna happen. Like, what's not gonna happen?
Yeah, but like to just be like, look,
be right back.
What they call magic is real, and that's fine. Everything about this is fine and understandable, and you can rationalize it away, but it doesn't change the truth that the void will enter all of us. And that's when I wanted to do the voice and like have that like switch come across and just be like, I am taking something from Brian. Because I felt like that would have been super tragic. But yeah. Also, I'm very proud. I'm very proud of how quickly I did the voice changeover. So
I thought it was very good.
That was amazing.
Yeah.
Also, I am so glad that we just ushered Winters out as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no, that is the right move.
Yeah. I mean, if nothing else, well, especially the awakening, so we can cast magic without it being vulgar with witnesses, but still.
Mm-hmm.
She no longer counts as a witness.
Yeah, fair.
She's currently having a massive freak out and an existential crisis, but she's no longer a vulgar witness.
Yeah. It's like, so I meant the world of magic.
It would now count as vulgar without witnesses because magic can still be vulgar.
Yeah, and
it's fine. She will calm down once. She will calm down once the void convinces her.
So is that a voice change? Like, are you using like a filter or something to change your voice, or are you just lowering your voice?
No, that is actually
no. This
voice.
is just my voice. This is how I have amazing control over my voice thanks to about 2 years of voice training and constant practice as a DM. I'm very impressive. I know.
Honestly, I feel a bit self-conscious.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. I was gonna say that was impressive. You know what? Fuck you.
Yeah. I'm a little self-conscious that I'm actually not that good at doing voices, and I'm not really at the point where I want to try doing voices, especially on camera.
I've come to terms with
honestly, I'm infinitely impressive. Just ask my wife. This is me, Matt Berry, talking to you.
I'm pretty good at the manic, like the creepy manic laugh.
I can see that you've got the right pitch of voice to be able to do it. We're not getting it. It's muted.
It's muted by the.
We're not getting anything.
It wasn't.
But the facial expression was on point.
Yes, the facial expression was amazing.
Yeah, no, still not coming through.
Any audio.
You're apparently too high, so it's not going through.
Being picked up on the microphone.
It's trust me, it's fucking creepy.
Yeah. I mean, you could record it and send it to the chat.
Yes. If you use a program like Audacity and record it, then you can.
My concern before the game was I wouldn't be able to do like a female sort of Southern American voice, or like that sort of Southern drawl sort of thing.
Yeah.
Because like I've done a male character for Shadow's game, where he was doing like a prequel to the actual campaign, and my character wasn't even born yet by that time, so I was like, shit, I'll have to play someone else. So I played like this like slave owning Ventrue character and it was terrible. You're just such a cunt, like thoroughly. It's fine. I don't do cheap, and it's like, oof. There's a lot of
I'm just picturing you doing.
Is that? Sorry.
I'm just picturing you doing Leonardo DiCaprio from Django Unchained.
Yeah, a little bit.
Is that the first C-bomb we had on the show, even though it's the after show? Well,
no, that was me.
But yeah, my apologies for swearing. It's most unsightly.
I like how it's like you appreciate French, but you can't speak it.
If I could do any kind of southern accent, I'd want to do Daniel Craig from Knives Out.
That's a fantastic one because
Benoit, I can do.
So good.
I've got no idea how good my southern drawl is if I try.
It's the fact that Daniel Craig's is not good, but he's just playing it up anyway, and just everything about that movie is fantastic. Especially like every few scenes, he just comes up with some southern witticism that is complete nonsense.
Yeah,
to the point that the main villain fucking calls him out of it by the end, just done with this shit.
They actually call him out on the fact that he's just making up bullshit, and it's amazing.
To bring us back on point, I really enjoyed playing Captain Ford. I'm really glad that I was part for that.
It was a lot of fun.
And I really did my best with like the voice for her, and then like having the sort of reveal at the end, just to be the sort of like very jarring shift, as best I could. So I'm glad that sort of worked for everyone.
Like the voice change was very well done.
How is everyone? I've got Stephen's answer, but how are you two reacting to what McClellan saw?
So may I go first?
Yeah.
Sure.
So when McClellan saw that everyone was made of it, even himself, his first thought was. This was his mental thinking. Mentally hyperventilating. And just goes fuck shit, fuck, and he just turns to the entity and goes. And his immediate thought was, "We're about to get our shit pushed in, aren't we?"
You are of the void, but you are not of me.
That's why Stephen wanted to get the entity out of the ship.
Yeah, exactly. There's void creatures and there's void creatures.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was your mistake, Mr. Wells. Inviting in something that you could not.
Yeah, it occurs to me that I should have rolled an intelligence enigmas, which I guess. Can I roll an intelligence enigmas now and then you can say whatever it would be next episode?
Here's the thing. Stephen didn't invite you in. Stephen locked you the fuck out until he was ordered to let you in.
I would like to also sort of say about the episode name, because I suggested it. So A Shadow Crossing, and Captain Ford being possessed by a shadow. A Ford is a type of crossing. That was my logic on that, and I was very proud of it. So
basically, that was all you needed to do to convince me. I was like, "Yeah, we're going with this one."
Yeah.
So I would have spent a willpower. So that's 4 successes with the intelligence enigmas.
What does enigmas do again?
That's basically a cult. It's a cult roll.
Oh, so it's just like the things beyond normal knowledge.
Yeah, basically, what the hell does she know about this thing?
What are you looking for?
A way to kill it, stop it, get rid of it, whatever. Like, just get it away out of the ship, away from the crew.
That feels distinctly like next episode kind of things.
It does. That's why
I'm not going to tell you what the results of the roll are. Just remind me next week that it was 4 successes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
then I'll...
And I'll remind you that, despite your best efforts as a mage of the technocracy, this creature still has you in a death grip. You are staring down a shark like Captain Ford once did. and it is smiling at you.
So does that mean this thing, or does this thing like sharks? Does this thing also like the taste of shit then?
Probably not, but
anyway,
because
matter is matter.
Because humans taste like shit to sharks.
That's true.
Wait,
I mean, but
you're still very biteable, and I can make you into more sharks.
Terrible.
So,
I'm actually really curious. What was the Shadow Monster's reaction to McClellan basically trying to Kamehameha it out of the ship?
Is that from my point of view as like the person playing the Shadow Monster, or are you looking for Lauren's?
You'd be the Shadow Monster because
Sorry,
I'm just the
yeah. So I mean, so as I mentioned, like the face of Alice was like, or the face of Captain Ford was like locked on Alice the entire time, but from your spirit side, you definitely saw this like horrifying monster turn towards you, like the shadow sort of pulling from its face to look you down, and again that sort of like feeling of I am coming for you after this. Like
no,
it's not, and it's irritated, which yeah, there's a little bit of the captain still in there. Like my prompts for this were basically like she's a captain, and she had some anger issues before, but yeah, just wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
And it's trying to play to those more than the creepy factor. So like she still came across as fairly human. And I like that everyone's like, "Oh my god, she's a vampire!" Like I was fucking dying inside. Like
I did not.
It's amazing.
I did not stay or think that.
I didn't actually think she was a vampire. I was only joking because Sarah was like, "Oh, she's very cold to the touch." So I'm like, "Oh well, obviously kindred."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So another thing,
I kind of played into it, but yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right as like they stopped recording, I thought of the greatest comeback from that smiling creature. If I was like McClellan would just have said, "Oh, honey, I've seen far scarier than you in my sleep." Basically, my thinking is because he is a spirit mage. Every time he falls asleep, his mind goes into the essentially Umbra, and essentially every time he closes his eyes to go to sleep, he is able to see spiritual entities.
Sure. I mean, my comeback there would be, "You are not dreaming now."
Okay, I think we can possibly just stop with the hypothetical one-upping because in this session.
Sorry, if you want me to stop with the evil voice, I can definitely do that anytime I want.
Do you know what I want to see now?
And like anytime you guys want to pull your hands back up.
So as a thing, every time I revert to Earth, I said we, as in Captain Ford and the Shadow Creature, but we were always talking about ourselves as a group, so it was never picked up on. And I just wanted to have that sort of slip up at one moment, but it never came up. I was quite annoyed. But like the entire time she's like, "We will return to Earth," and it's just didn't work for me.
I'm just going to point out something which I think was overlooked by quite a lot of people. The Red Baron likes the Capricorn 3 crew. The Red Baron specifically left when Ford came on board.
I did notice that, but it didn't click.
I got it. I was like, yes, run from me, little fucking feeling. Like,
oh no, he's actually super powerful. He's just like that. I do not have the patience to deal with you right now.
Oh yeah, no, but like from Lord's Shadow perspective, just being like, I'm a monster here. Like, I've come to eat.
Do you know what I want to see now in the future? Maybe a one-shot where Jen gets to play a Capricorn 2 one-shot, where we can see Jen play the actual captain before the possession.
Ooh,
that'd be cool. Yeah, we could do like a nightmare for that.
Yeah.
Also,
here's what happened to the Capricorn 2 when they arrived on Mars.
Also, we still kind of need to do the
we
nightmare.
need to do the therapy session.
That's true.
Yeah, I mean, we need to sort out a time for both the nightmare episodes then, which given what's going on, nightmare is very appropriate for the
well, maybe we can do the nightmares in the space between the two shows. Very appropriate for like the void. So,
have you actually figured out what the nightmare suits are? Because I've specifically made the point of distinction between the inhabitant suits and like the things like Ford.
So I assume they are like time echo things. As someone who's like been watching the show, but I don't know. I don't know enough about Major the setting, so yeah.
Well,
it's
one of these things that the thing that I've decided they are is not really related to the Mage setting whatsoever.
Right.
It's within the bounds of Mage, but it's not really. It's not a thing of you need to know Mage in order to know what they are.
You know, I actually have a theory.
Like a sort of time variant echo thing, like bleed through basically from the other dimension.
I have a theory about what the spacesuit things are. So, Captain Ford's body has been possessed, which means that her soul, while still in her body. What if, when the other crew got possessed by the shadow entities, their soul was completely removed, and being in the Umbra with nowhere to go, the souls found the first vessel they came across and inhabited them.
I mean, that's the thing. There's two. I will say there is a total of 12 sort of nightmare suits. 2 of them are physically inhabiting the borrowed suits from the Capricorn 3. The other 10 are the ones that you've just seen wandering around in like a weird mismatch of they're wearing spacesuits, but you cannot pin down where the spacesuits belong to.
Yeah, I'm thinking it's Umbra entities that are curious about the Capricorn. Don't understand that the multiverse is getting kind of fucked with, and so are interacting with versions of the Capricorn from different realities, and that's why we're seeing so many suits, because they've taken suits from different Capricorns, different Capricorn 3s. So they're all legit suits from the Capricorn 3, but they're legit suits from different versions of the Capricorn 3.
I'm also looking forward to how you guys reconcile the identity.
My theory about what the suits are, since I had to go back and can explain my theory. I think there are other parts of seeing how there's the void entities have latched onto us. I think there's parts of us that got detached from it, and the suits are a combination of, the parts of us that were detached by the void entities.
Oh, and another thing, the next session, when we deal with Jen the Shadow Monster, however
always a shadow monster.
However that shakes out, McClellan is definitely going to attempt to shunt the shadow beings out of his crewmates.
I'm gonna just point this one out. This is entirely just semantics, which is going to be even better. But there is a very specific difference between parasitoidism and symbiosis.
So,
I do have a Cyclone.
So the question is, are they parasitic or symbiotic?
And which one is which?
I'm
going to say there's both a parasite and a symbiote in play here.
I'm thinking the one in Ford is the parasite and we're the symbiotes because we are still acting like the crew. We're not like, we're the Void come to fuck up your Christmas.
But here's the thing. Parasites latch onto you and try to keep hidden, and
that's true.
The Captain Void was using the term "we," meaning he understood there was another entity at play.
That's also. Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
that could also be my love of the character Venom speaking.
When
I was kind of trying on that myself.
On the note of Venom, my favorite line from Carnage, from having watched the Carnage movie, Let There Be Carnage, which by the way is good. You should watch it.
You're in the minority there.
my favorite line from the one of the comics of Carnage is it. I think talking about Spider-Man or Venom, I don't remember which, just says, when we're done, there's not going to be enough left to fit in a matchbox, but we'll try.
Anyway.
I'm pretty sure this flew over everyone's heads. Sarah said there in reference to our shadow beings, there is a parasite and a symbiote at play.
Oh, I know. Yeah,
which
that's what we were debating. We were debating which is which. Are we the parasites or are we the symbiotes? That's what we were debating.
What I got from what she said, which I could totally be.
I guess if there's both in each of us, if we each. That's right.
Let him speak.
Sorry.
The way she said it makes me think that some of us have symbiotes and others have parasites.
I mean, at least Funny is getting like a little bit more. But we'll see how many of you I can reach.
Poor Alice.
Poor Alice.
Yeah, if any of us were going to get fucked over, it was going to be Alice. We've established this from
I don't know. I had my eyes on Steven. I was like, I'm going to get you. And I still will. I simply want you to join the chorus.
Hey.
And help me return to your blue world.
Steven unintentionally almost helped you by saying we should go to the ship alone.
And we appreciated that.
Yeah, you're the one that kept saying no, it was a bad idea.
I didn't want to appear too over-enthusiastic. This voice is becoming more comedy the more I do it, so I'm just going to
put it out there. As much as the Void Engineers don't know what's out there, and as much as they're kind of terrified by a lot of the reality deviants, not everything in the Deep Umbra is hostile.
Parsley and the Red Baron are proof of that.
They're technically not umbral creatures, they're dreaming creatures.
And there are other places.
It's mainly specifically, there is actually a distinction between the Umbra and the dreaming. I'm just kind of blending the two together so I can draw from Changeling, but they are separate.
But you can hand wave that away with the fucking rip in the sky.
Oh yeah, I managed to just create the best sort of explanation as to why anything is happening. It's like there's just a hole in reality.
Yeah, it was. Look. I blame Sarah for the whole in reality in our shows because Sarah's the one that's like, the problem's going to be with the Hell Drive when we hit the atmosphere. Something's going to go wrong and the ship's going to be launched into space. And then and then my brain just went, what if? And that's I suggested that, and Sarah's like, oh well, yeah.
We're hitting the 30-minute.
We started chatting, and
we're hitting the 30-minute mark, so we should probably start wrapping it up.
Yeah, we haven't done Stars and Wishes, but
I don't think we're doing Stars and Wishes today. I think that's just we kind of just sort of went off and spiraling.
I mean, we
can do Stars and Wishes if we do it super quick.
Well, Stars and Wishes. I think we've already kind of covered them though, because we were talking about how great some of the interactions
were. True. Yeah,
I mean,
I just like.
As long as we all agree that I was perfect.
You are perfect. You were awesome.
Thank you.
And I thoroughly enjoyed. You're definitely not suspicious from the start character on the show, and I do wholeheartedly agree. We need you to play a character that is the purest and goodest being, but turns up at the most suspicious time.
Oh, to be fair, that is actually a trope that I use a lot in my games. I will just give people an NPC that's just a genuinely nice person, but in a really tense moment, and so they spend like the first 2 sessions with that NPC just like, what is up with you? And then they literally just realize like, no, this is just a normal person who's just nice.
You know what? That actually reminds me of something. If you've watched the first season of Critical Role, Matt just completely shatters the group's sense of like trust in any NPC whatsoever, so they insight checked literally everyone, including a random old lady who wanted to know where her husband was.
See that's the mark of a master DM there. Just breaking your players from the start. Anyway, sorry, Jane, you were saying something.
I would like to. I would have liked to come on and help the crew of the Capricorn 3, but I was unfortunately typecast as the monster with shadow powers. I don't know where Sarah got the idea, but she used to, here, Jen, like, come be a horrible thing. And
I was also saying that like the horrible thing was also smart, so they weren't going to just open with this.
Yeah, which is how I played it as well. So
it was good. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah. Like I wasn't sure how the voice for Ford would come out. I wanted to put together like a little sort of voice clip of like different voices, basically. So like the southern drawl sort of thing. I had a Russian one ready to go, and just sort of like different angles to take.
Now I want to hear your Russian accent.
Well, you'll have to wait and see, really. We can. It needs some work. But yes. I don't know. There's a lot of things that are going on there, and I really like showing off how flexible my voice is. It's my favorite thing about it.
It was genuinely impressive. I wasn't sure if you were using like a voice changer or something, because the change was so flawless.
We have hit the 30-minute mark.
Yep.
Okay. Is there anything else we need to cover?
Yeah.
No,
I have a question for Sarah, but I can ask that once we're done recording.
Yeah.
Okay, in that case, thank you everyone for tuning in.
Happy birthday.
And if you're watching before the early access nonsense is over, thank you for supporting. If you're watching afterwards, thank you for watching. Please remember to like, subscribe, comment, etc. on the YouTube with the bots, which I really should have said during the actual stream, but I forgot because I'm the worst.
I mentioned about the YouTube channel. I forgot to do the full thing about it.
Yeah. Thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in. We've been the Explorers League. There you go.